Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. I'm Joe Thorderson, here with my friends Brandon Olmsted and Allan Gilbreth, and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And I would say today is probably going to turn into a music-heavy discussion, right? Hey, we're here on 98.1 The Max. It's fully appropriate.
Today, we don't need our microphones to have a stun setting. They need a self-destruct setting.
Okay.
Okay, the two of you are no longer allowed to hang out outside of the studio.
Yeah.
Y'all are starting to adapt to one another's humor.
I don't even know that I thought that was that funny, though. But good for you, Max. I agree. So
No, you tried to get us to laugh about it at another station.
Oh, okay. Hey, anyway, let's keep going. But I discovered a band. Well, actually, Max, I think you were become a fan of these guys too. That never heard of them before, and I don't know what I think, but I just can't take my eyes off these videos. And it's a Man O' War. Mm-hmm. You guys know about this? How do you guys know all these things?
Because me and Allan, we take our job seriously in delving into pop culture of all genres and ages.
Okay. All right. Well,
and there's a lot of bad stuff out there.
We're going to talk about that, but Max, you did want to say happy birthday to somebody, so go ahead.
Some buddies. I wanted to wish a belated happy birthday to Ziggy Stardust and the King.
Okay. They don't have
Literally
the same
buddies.
birthday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they have the same birthday?
They have the same birthday.
Now, I didn't know that. Interesting. So.
Yep, they were both born. They were both born on January 8th. But what's interesting about David Bowie and Elvis Presley is that they had a lot of they had some very fascinating near misses in their life. And what was funny is the way that Ziggy first became acquainted with Elvis Presley was he was getting off of a plane to go see Elvis after like a Ziggy Stardust tour, and he was in his full regalia, walking into Madison Square Garden with front row seats, and he's like, oh no, am I going to get the King upset because everybody's looking at me? And it's like, it turned out to be quite the opposite. Elvis really wanted to collaborate with David Bowie and vice versa. Like, he even wrote the song, Bowie wrote the song Golden Years with hopes that Elvis would sing it. But things happened and everything.
Interesting.
But one of Bowie's fondest memories is actually a handwritten letter by Elvis saying that he wished him luck on his next tour. And it meant a lot to him because not only that, but like Bowie got a call from Elvis 6 months before he died saying, hey, Bowie, I'd really like to do a song with you, but, tragic circumstances happened in 1977 and he passed away before they could collab. And where things get even more fascinating is there was an unreleased song that didn't come out till 1990 that was recorded by Elvis in 1960. And you want to know what the name of the song was called? Black Star.
Wait a minute. That's the name of his last album.
Exactly.
Oh.
And not only that, but there's a lot of eerie lyrics in the song by Elvis, Black Star, that reflect on mortality and morbidity, where it's like every man has a black star on his shoulder, and when he sees his black star, he knows his time has come.
Because he was only 42 when he did. Yeah. I'm just thinking of what that would have sounded like for Elvis to sing Golden Years. I wonder what the arrangement would have been. I don't know.
I don't think it would have changed that much because if you think about it, Golden Years really kind of stands out as being a little unique amongst the rest of the songs on that album.
Huh. That's interesting. You just wonder who else he would have collaborated with if he didn't die at a young age or something. So I don't know. That's interesting, Max.
He wouldn't have collaborated with Man O' War.
Yeah. Okay. But that's cool. That's a nice fun fact. I didn't know those guys were born on the same day. So
they had a cosmic connection, not only in terms of birthdays, but in terms of possible collaborations artistically, but also because they also recorded with RCA.
Okay. Pretty interesting stuff, man. There's always a lot of history out there in the arts. So, well, speaking of the arts, you guys. So
Is this art?
I'm minding my own business. I was watching. I've become a fan of this one YouTube channel where this guy he sounds like the biggest dork. Like he literally sounds like a guy with
Professor
a
of Rock?
pocket protector. No, not the Professor of Rock.
Because he sounds like a pretty big dork.
Yeah.
I think it's called Guitar Meets Science.
Guitar Meets Science. You never see the guy. But he covers heavy metal and he covers all the behind the scenes drama of tours and just different things of what it was really like to record this album or that. And there was a video there was a video that popped up on his channel and it was called Diaper Metal. And these 4 guys standing there in like loincloths and whatever, trying to look really like Conan the Barbarian, trying to look tough. And this is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. I mean, I was almost hyperventilating, laughing so hard, but it introduced me to Man O' War. And apparently you guys are big fans, right?
No, not even remotely.
No, you're fans in the way you are if you drove by a car accident.
When you drive by slowly, there's a car wreck, you're going to look. You know, it's although I will say this, I bet Guar could still beat him up.
Who's Guar? Is he?
You don't know Guar? Oh,
I'm still new to these guys. I don't know.
Well, we're going to introduce you to Guar.
Gwar.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can look them up after you look up Miss Jenkins.
Wait, is that Iron Maiden, the guy?
No, I'm not going to say another word. Gwar. I'm just going to let you go discover for yourself.
Okay.
And it'll just be, I can't wait. Well, Brandon, quit laughing. You're just.
Well, here's the thing that I found fascinating.
I just got to say, Joe.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, they did a Sega Genesis game featuring Beavis and Butthead. Their entire point is to collect money to make it to the Guar concert.
The Guar Oh, that Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now I got to go Google that when we hit the break.
You do.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
But the thing that was interesting to me about this is because these guys, okay, you know how some people, like, I'm thinking of the Billy Squier. You remember that video he made in the 80s that basically ruined his entire career? Because he was like this hard-rocking guy that, good guitar player and everything. He made one bad video, and it ruined his whole career. Well, these guys were on the cusp of the same thing with this diaper thing, or with these loincloth photo shoot, but instead of caving, they saw this as a battle of Man O' War against the world, and it sounds like they actually won the battle.
No, they didn't.
No. So, dude, Jerry Springer has a huge audience even today in syndication. Jerry's show never won.
Well, we'll debate that because I think you could argue that Man O' War did rise to the top, and we'll discuss that when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
Not if they're being talked about on Geek Tank.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. Even the Riddler can't figure this show out. The Geek Patrol is back.
It almost sounded like you had to beep that thing. And welcome back to
That's why I played it.
Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And if you're just tuning in, we're learning about the profound wisdom, or I should say the fighting spirit of a band out there named Man O' War. It's all one word, who I never heard of. There's probably people out there that are just like, yeah, where have you been, living under a rock? But they were big in the late 80s, early 90s. Is that right, you guys?
They're still touring now.
No, I mean, but their heyday, when they were first on the scene.
I'm not sure heyday is the phrase I would use.
Okay, but here's the thing.
I'm sure they sold out many a dive bar back in the 80s.
Well, here's the thing. They pronounce themselves as the kings of metal. And if you don't have their same attitude when it comes to heavy metal, you're just a pretender and you're just a poser and you're really not worth anything. That's it's them against the world.
Do you know how many people said that before they got in the ring with Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
It's because I thought it was because they came at a time where they wanted to be more unconventional than the two camps of metal, which is let's go either the Spinal Tap route of being that style, or we got the people that are trying like Metallica and everything, where it's like blue jeans and T-shirts.
I will see all of this.
Okay.
And I will raise you a Finnish prime minister.
Okay. No. All right.
2006. There is every year the Eurovision Song Contest, right?
Yep.
And the Eurovision Song Contest generally gives us some type of amazing ballad. We've gotten a few good performers out of it over the years. There's a country that has never even placed. They haven't even come close.
Yeah.
They have been giggled at every year. So the Finnish prime minister went to his, I think at the time, 15 or 16-year-old daughter and said, so what are we going to do this year? And she went, oh, I have a band for you.
Finland, we're talking.
Finland.
Okay.
We're talking Finland. And he goes, what you got for me? She goes, I got a band called Lordy.
Okay. Yeah.
And he went, okay, great. We're going to send them. And
he didn't screen us.
And she went,
Oh.
and she went, like any good 16-year-old.
So she
Man,
just.
she
Okay.
Let's just say Lordy. If you watch the video, Joe, the first time they take the stage,
Yeah.
and when they walk out, there is among the 30,000 some odd people in the audience, there is utter and complete dead silence.
Like stunned amazement, or just they were in the presence of
stunned,
greatness?
because they're used to people like Yanni.
Oh.
And, they're used to ABBA. They're used to, and out walks Lordy.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they look pretty good. Brandon just showed me a picture. It looks like some cartoon characters.
they are literally monster rock.
But you can't hear them right now.
Yeah.
And he walks out, and the lead singer, and I will give him mad props. A, they are a good band.
Okay.
They're pretty
B,
badass.
he has got range.
Yeah. The guy looks like Jason Momoa. I mean, the lead singer.
If Jason Momoa had starred in I Escaped Hell,
Okay.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, Lordy walks out, and to a band competition that is mostly,
Flourishes.
yeah, it's a lot of soft rock. It's a lot of big pop stuff.
Very-
And out walks a hardcore Finnish monster rock metal band. And the first two strikes of the opening chord, and the audience, who has been numbed by people singing ballads,
Yeah.
get erupted out of their seats by some hard metal. And the whole place just goes freaking berserk.
So they were a hit.
Oh, yeah.
They won.
They won.
Okay, well, see, there's a
They
lesson
won.
there, man.
But
yeah.
I'm going to leave it as you need to watch the video to get the actual full effect of crazed bands striking.
Okay, I don't know, man. You're seeing. I think you're making my case, man.
Well,
They were true to themselves,
Well, no, it
just
just-
like Man of War has been true to
No,
themselves.
it just proves to you that Manowar has no business calling themselves the Kings of Metal.
Oh, because Lordy's got them. So we need a battle of the
all right,
bands with these guys.
I would not meet Lordy in the parking lot.
Okay.
Let's just be honest. These people stayed in horrendous costumes the entire weekend. They never appeared out of costume.
Well, that
Interesting.
kind of reminds me of Manowar, because I heard that the venues that they went to got stunk up for like a whole week, like a gym locker.
Well, I hate to say it because apparently, and I'll be sensitive here. Apparently, they went with this whole.
Yeah,
there's
no.
nothing more manly than dressing like Conan the Barbarian. Well,
no.
that stuff can get pretty ripe as you're performing under hot lights. And
I wanted to give a.
I just showed Joe a picture of Guar, Allan.
I wanted to give a little anecdote of how committed to the bit Manowar was.
Yeah.
So when they were doing their photo shoot in the dead of cold in their loincloths in a park with people snickering at them
in Central Park.
in Central Park, we had a police officer pull up on him, and rather than buckling away, the main singer goes full throttle and puffs out his chest and puts his foot on a rock and everything. And the cop asks, "Do you have permits for this?" And the guy replies, "We have permits from the gods of Valhalla." So it's like, I like a guy who's committed to his art to the point where he doesn't buckle away, even if he considers us the false ones and everything erroneously. I like a guy who's at least committed to the bit.
Well, see, that was I feel like there are life lessons here, Brandon, because you talked about how Man of War is still performing today.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of people that aren't performing today that were around in their same era.
It's true.
But if we're gonna go down this road in tradition,
Yeah.
let's go back to one of the original travesties
oh,
of
dear
rock.
God, no.
Oh, boy.
Let's go back to Central Park. Let's go back to 1978. Brandon, you know where I'm headed?
Yeah, I was a year old.
You were a year old.
Okay.
However, Kiss met the Phantom of the Park.
All right. Well, there's
In a
not.
full
Hey,
movie.
Such a good movie.
you continue to make my case.
I love. First of all, I love that movie.
All right. Well, if you're going to be an artist, stick to your guns, and we'll continue talking about that when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
Honestly, I hate working here. They are so weird.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And what started off as a conversation about diaper metal, referring to my new favorite band, Man O' War, MANOWAR, one word.
And the Aquabats are going to be so upset with you.
Well, I guess that's true. Now, if you could get those two to perform together, you'd be...
Manabats.
Yeah, you'd be...
Hey,
War.
hey. Have you ever seen them in the same place? Prove to me they're not the same people.
Yeah, they've had the same spirit. But here's what I was going to say before we move on, because Allan apparently has other bands in his rotation. But you guys, here's the thing: Man O' War, as Max indicated, they came out. They thought that the most manly thing you could do and the best move for showing you're a true heavy metal band is to perform out in, like, you know, leather loincloths or things like, you know, looking like Conan the Barbarian. They stuck to their bit. They went the whole tour and they did this, and they still contend that they are the kings of metal, and that it's, you know, they're leading the way. And, you know, laugh if you must, but they've built a pretty devoted fan base. They've stuck to their bit. So I feel like the lesson here is be true to yourself and believe in yourself. And who knows, you might be performing 40 years later still.
That reminds me of a quote from Futurama: "Thanks to denial, I'm immortal."
Yeah. Well, think of these guys that have gone out there and like I said, Billy Squire could have learned a lesson from Man O' War. If he would have just, you know, got out there and maybe, you know, denounced that stupid video that he made and maybe just sort of owned it and was honest about it, he might still be performing today. But I don't know.
Then again, there's also the just move on.
Okay.
You did it. You're in it. You know what? Not everybody makes a great movie.
Yeah, just learn from the mistake
just
and keep
move
going.
on.
But
Just
he
move
let
on,
that
man.
destroy his career. So
Just
Man
move
O' War,
on.
Here you go.
You know.
Here you go, Joe. I'm not
Okay.
going to call them the Kings of Metal. I'll never call them the Kings of Metal. They can call themselves that. But I will read this to you.
Okay.
The Guinness Book of World Records listed Man O' War as the loudest band for a performance in 1984.
Yep.
Now, the band claimed...
I thought Spinal
All right,
Tap
hold
had
on.
that.
The
Yeah.
band claimed a louder measurement of 129.5 decibels in 1994 at Hanover, but Guinness didn't recognize it, having discontinued the category by that time for fear of encouraging hearing damage.
I was about to say, what's it like being in the front row of that thing? Holy smokes.
See, and that's why you can't be the king of metal if I can't hear your stuff.
Yeah.
No, but
Okay.
you feel it in your
because you-
fillings.
Because well, yeah, but that happens when, you know, like, you know, the St. Jude Marathon runs past my car.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that's
That
my...
could just be grit,
I'm going
though.
to follow that. I started listening to some of their music, and honestly, the lyrics are so funny. It's
So,
just, I mean... Spinal Tap could learn a few things. Actually, Spinal Tap seems more serious than these guys when it comes to lyrical talent, I will say.
You know, I'm just glad I've got more pull this year because I am already nixing them as performing at MCFC.
Well, anyway.
But that's just because they're loud.
Yeah.
You
But
know, Dr. Demento had such a lovely career. That's all I got to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Well, but Allan, what were you? You had somebody that you wanted us to know about, I thought.
Oh, no, he was alluding to the play that he did.
Oh,
Well,
I don't wanna
y'all
know.
were
I don't
trying-
want to know about that.
Y'all were
but yeah.
trying to beat out of me if I was ever in a band. No, I was never in a band.
Yeah,
So,
because you've had every other kind of job that we know of.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah,
The
I
only
used to wrestle
like
squids.
literally
Oh,
the
yeah.
only person who had more jobs than you is Barbie.
yep.
Okay. Anyway, so,
By the way, don't forget to go by the Painted Tree and pick up Allen's Spices.
hey, just out of curiosity, is Lordy still performing?
Possibly.
I don't know if they retired or not, but they've had several actually pretty good, you know.
What did that dressing room smell like at the end of a concert? I
Rubber.
mean, that.
All I got to say, the prosthetic. Yeah, it would be like rubber glue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they are huge. completely amazing costumes.
Now, I have a question for those who actually lived through this. Would you say that bands like Man of War, in terms of metal, they kind of contributed to the whole idea of painting metal as sort of bardic and medieval? Because it's like, I kind of like that idea of a metal band kind of being a little bit more medieval, because I think there's
You mean Jethro Tull?
Oh, that's a good point. Because I was also thinking
Yeah,
of
but
like there's like modern bands, like metal bands like Aldo or whatever. I thought they were kind of medieval too, or hybrid
How
style.
about Jethro Tull, who'd put out an entire album called Songs from the Wood?
That's fair.
Yeah, but he sounded like an actual bard with his do-do-do-do, his flute and everything. These guys don't sound like what it would have sounded like, hundreds of years ago.
No, but now don't you want to find a way to get a hold of the castle and have them perform in there just to hear it?
I don't know. The thing is, their sensibilities and their lyrics and like Max was saying, the things that they care about. I mean, they're all about battle and swords and breaching the
smelling
breaching the
medievally
castle
accurate.
and everything.
See, I've attended SCA events, and trust me, being authentic is highly overrated.
Yeah. Okay, well, see, Brandon's just showing me more pictures, and it seems to me the SCA would be right up their alley.
Well, this is Lordy performing in 2025. So.
Oh yeah, they're still out there.
Okay, well, there's something to that, and I mean, Kiss made an entire career out of this. Let's be honest. So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it, and here on the 98.1 The Max, I'm gonna get yelled at by certain people.
Oh boy,
but Kiss are not good musicians, but they are amazing showmen.
You're not. I think I've said the exact.
No.
words,
That's the thing though. Is like you don't have to be good at your craft. You just have to be good at presenting your craft.
Well, that's what I was.
And I've proven that here on Geek Tank and at MCFC.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, okay, if you lined up 20 bands on a stage and you're looking at them, the first band you're going to look at is Kiss because they look unlike all the other bands that they're standing next to. So
they
that
do stand
alone
3
gets
feet
some
taller
attention,
because of their
right?
heels.
Huh?
They do stand 3 feet taller because of their heels.
Don't roll your eyes at me, Alan. I remember the 70s, man. They
No, I'm actually
we went to the record store.
No, I actually have a case in point of a hairstyling disaster that made a career.
Oh, really?
The lead singer to Flock of Seagulls, an amazingly talented young man, had, as we would like to say, a hairstyling disaster on his way to stage on night 2.
Oh.
Night 1, he had normal hair. Night 2, it went poorly.
That's interesting.
And he had to go on stage with massively weird hair.
And it's funny how that...
And night 3, everybody showed up to see the massively weird hair.
All right, and the rest is history.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
I don't even know what they said there.
I think we need more rejoiners.
Yeah, exactly. And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And, if you're just joining us today, among other things, we're talking about really just one of the kings of metal, Man of War, a band I just recently discovered about a week ago, and I'm already really intrigued with these guys. But, you guys, as I'm...
Have you got their logo tattooed on you yet, Joe?
As I'm reflecting on it and thinking, because it led to a discussion of talking about these other bands like Lordy and even Kiss or something. But it's interesting because, we, before MTV came along, we experienced music, we heard music, but we didn't necessarily see it being performed unless we went to a concert. And then MTV comes along, and maybe one day we'll actually have smell-o-vision too. But these bands are reminding me that that the arts can be enjoyed on many dimensions. You could say it's like Man of War and bands like Kiss. It's almost like they're exploiting all the dimensions: the visual, the smell,
I'm all for I'm all for an immersive experience, Joe.
There you go.
But no, I don't care. I don't.
You're
care.
a Kiss fan. You're a total hypocrite, man.
I am a card carrying member of the Kiss Army. That is true. I don't care what they smell like.
I'm not getting that close.
Well, I'm not.
Honestly, I don't want to be that close to him because I've seen what Gene Simmons charges for an appearance. I think if you walk down the hallway, he gets you an invoice.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, if the meat puppets are up on stage, they need to be there. If they're followed up by green frothy discharge, these are real bands, by the way.
That's what they're called. Oh, boy.
That's the band name.
Hey, one of my favorite bands was called the Guano Apes.
I was about to say them.
It's like full on throat metal because that's all you really heard was her screaming.
Huh.
Now, actually, a good band for Joe would be Super Furry Animals.
Probably.
That's
that
another
sounds
one
like a smelly locker room too. Oh my god!
I still think once he starts listening to Gwar, he's good.
Yeah, but
I want to see Joe experience Lordy at Eurovision. I want to see his face while he watches that.
Oh, I'm gonna
agree.
check it out.
I agree.
But Brandon, okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing. You yourself, and I've said it myself, that okay, if we're being brutally honest, Kiss are not the best musicians.
No.
They're
No.
great showmen, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
well,
did a
why do you
remarkable
watch
job.
it though? Like, why are you such a big Kiss fan? If you
Because
have you ever analyzed why that is?
well, first of all, it was a band my mother introduced me to. There's a lot of bad bands my mom introduced me to that I still listen to this day.
Okay.
But there is something that nostalgic for me with Kiss because of growing up listening to them, and so much so that I went to the farewell concert and I went to the Psycho Circus reemergence concert, and they're just like. You know how I've talked about doing the conventions that we can have the panels, we can have the gaming, we can have this, but if you don't have the spectacle, you don't have the audience.
There you go.
There you go. It's like going to a carnival where you never have to leave your seat.
So they just roll a nat 20 on their charisma check every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but see, I would dare say, as much as we want to, say, hey, well, they're not great musicians or something. Well, they're still tapping into something. They recognize that a concert is about more than just
right. And you think about modern day, so many singers and bands and everything. They're not good at the musical stuff so much as they put on an amazing show and they put so much heart and passion into what they do. It just draws you in.
And then there's also the opposite too, where it's like they're overly processed and they make really good music in studio, but put them in front of like a concert light and everything, and they kind of shrivel up.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that's how Van Halen was. At least they were back in the day, maybe back when they were drunk and they couldn't, but they sounded awful when I saw them in concert. But that was back in the early 80s. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But visually, it was fun. David Lee Roth got a samurai sword, and and it was still an entertaining concert, but it sounded awful. So, I don't know, man.
Well, it's like, come on. Do you really think we went to we watched Liberace to see him play the piano? No, we wanted to see what gaudy thing he was wearing on stage.
Well, that's sort of my question.
It's cosplay.
Yeah. And I wonder how in the when they're traveling in other circles with other musicians and stuff, like I'm guessing there's probably a lot of musicians that secretly don't even want to talk to Gene Simmons or something, right? I mean,
they're in his band. Actually, no, I'm kidding. Actually, but no, that's one of those things that's actually a very it's a very well-known fact. Aha, who this is a band that got over on an amazing music video.
Right.
They're mid at best when it comes to their music. Those guys don't talk to each other outside of getting into the studio and recording or getting in and rehearsing or going to a concert. They travel separately.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's documentaries that talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, Hall & Oates shows up for a show. They're two trailers.
Well,
the only time they get near each other is on stage.
It's like, I was
if
gonna
you
say,
get 20 feet,
Daryl Hall has a restraining order on John Oates at this point.
I think he does. Like, you can't walk within 20 feet of him.
I mean, it's like the only time they get near each other at this point is like on stage.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know, man.
So welcome to the fickle world of strange music.
Yeah. It's just interesting. So, and of course, I wonder how much of this would exist if we didn't have video. We talked about the death of MTV last week and everything.
No,
and say what you will, if you didn't have the video element.
No, I went to way too many weird concerts long before the TV and all the nonsense. It's word of mouth. It's spectacle. It's with the convention circuit. You're a convention guy. Filking is all about.
Say that carefully. F-I-L.
F-I-L-K.
Yeah.
That is a misprint that was supposed to be folk singing.
Yeah.
And that came out filking.
Yeah.
And filking is Dr. Demento's entire career of 40 years.
Right.
People making fun of songs. I mean,
Folk music about science fiction.
well, when you have hit songs like, what do you give a Wookiee for Christmas if he's already got a comb? I mean, what more do you want, man?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good stuff. So, all right. Well, we'll continue to explore this, and who knows what bands we'll discover by the time we join you again. But not right now, because it's time to get out of here. The show is over. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
And I'm Alan Gilbreth.
I'm Maximilian.
And I'm Brandon Olmsted, king of nothing.
Okay.